What is up, everyone? My name is Jack Southall, back again with another video. And today, before I was rudely interrupted by my PS4, today we're going to talk about the 20-year anniversary of the most controversial moment in wrestling history, the Montreal Screwjob. And joining me, I'm not alone on this one, ladies and gentlemen, the king of the Mysterio, the Vision, the TheFive8th is in the building.
Finally making a YouTube video.
Well,
co-making.
Well, you did get your Elgato today, but you've been having issues with that.
I'm gonna fucking tombstone it, man.
Before we get into that, tell us about your issues with the Elgato. Like, what's been going on with that for the viewers at home?
So about a week ago, I bought an Elgato off Gumtree. Gumtree's pretty much like the Australian version of Craigslist. If there's anyone
Just
watching
without all
from
the hookers,
outside Australia. So yeah, anyway, I bought that. It arrived this morning, and I've been fucking around all day trying to get it to work so I can actually record something. And I've been having issues, whether it's like the USB cable not being able to reach my PC because my PC's at the other side of the room, or, you know, just general bullshit like being slightly retarded, buying another fucking... being slightly retarded and not seeing the USB cable in the box.
I had to tell Campbell in our group chat, is like, dude, you know the Elgato comes with a USB cable.
And oh well, Officeworks will give me a refund, surely.
Yeah,
we've got everything all hooked up, and I've been trying to get it connected onto my computer all day, and it's just been saying no signal. And I've been pretty close to fucking stomping a mud hole in its ass and walking it dry. I'm pretty sure I just said mud hole, but that's okay.
Mate, anything at this point. But yeah, I've also been having technology problems as well, because my fucking PS4, as you heard at the start of the show, it keeps ejecting discs. Now, this has been a problem that's been going on my PlayStation since I've had the fucking thing. So I'm ready to give it a fucking tombstone, but I don't want to do that because I actually want to trade it in, get a PS4 Pro, because those things look fantastic. Like 1 terabyte. That's twice the size of this piece of shit. Like,
it can actually fit like 10 games on there now.
Yeah, 10 games instead of like
6.
fucking 5 games. And just half of it taken up is just updates and shit. Like, freaking, it's so funny. We're talking about this.
I miss the old consoles where you can just like pop the disc in and you're good to go.
Yeah, we were talking about this before the show. We were talking about how, like, back in the day, you were able to fit more games on a tiny little memory card. Yeah, these
it's like
big,
1 gigabyte.
Yeah, nowadays all games are like 50 gigabytes. Like, they take up a good...
Takes a good hour or two to fucking download.
Yeah.
And another 10 years to get all the updates.
Yeah, exactly. So, we're just going to get right into it, I reckon. Get onto the topic.
After getting sidetracked like not even a minute in.
I mean, we're the bullshit club. What do you expect at this point?
Yeah.
Speaking of bullshit club, when do you think, before we do actually talk about the Montreal Screwjob, the topic at hand, we might do a bullshit club episode soon? I mean, we're going to have to. It's been 3 fucking months since
it's been too long. We were supposed to do one before I went over to Canada, in August.
Well, but we just
don't know why. I think we
just,
because we were like, we just wanted to get in the moment.
Yeah, it's just the first time all 3 of us have ever met, so we're like, fuck it, let's just be in the moment and just hang out.
Go bowling and have a wrestle in Billy's fucking lounge room. Yeah. That was great. Even though I lost.
Yeah, match of the
still
year, right there.
But
King of the Mysterio.
Always.
But yeah, so I think we should just get the topic at hand. So Montreal Screwjob, 20 years. Holy shit. It's been 20 years since probably the most controversial moment in the history of wrestling ever has taken place. This moment had so many shockwaves throughout the entirety of wrestling. It has been a moment that has been imitated to death by WWE.
I fucking wish they would kill it. Just kill it.
Yeah, at this point. Seriously, guys, if you do a fucking screw job finish at the Survivor Series main event this year, I'm gonna flip a table. Like,
Oh, just
mate,
like Braun
because like,
Strowman flipped the table at SummerSlam. We all thought it was going to be JBL.
yeah. Oh man, we need to
God
watch
damn
another
it.
wrestling pay-per-view soon, like
Yeah,
together, like Mania or something. I reckon, like Mania
definitely. Yeah,
34.
I'll probably be up
We need to.
around Queensland, like probably around WrestleMania time as well at some point.
Oh, dude, we have
Got
to
to
watch
visit my sister.
WrestleMania. If you are coming up around this time, we have to watch WrestleMania
Yeah,
together and have a
if I'm up there like around that time, I think.
yeah, and have a big fucking party and all that shit. So,
Yeah.
so
Anyway, back to the
yeah,
topic.
back to Screwjob. So yeah, it sent shockwaves across the WWE for years to come, imitated the death. However, where did it all started? It all started around 1997. Obviously, Bret Hart was the current reigning WWE champion at the time. He was a heel in America. He pretty much just dissed everyone in the United States, but he loved Canada. He was a beloved hero there. He was the leader of the New Hart Foundation involving Jim Neidhart, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Brian Pillman for a little bit, but
He wasn't
unfortunately
even
he would.
Canadian, was he?
Well, he was part. I think he was friends with like one of the Hart family members or something like that. But he wasn't in it for long because unfortunately, the night of the Bad Blood pay-per-view, he was found dead in his
Yeah.
hotel room. I don't think it was the night of the pay-per-view. It would have been earlier on that he passed away, which was very unfortunate. He had so much potential to be someone, incredible, like a big star in the WWE, I reckon. I mean, after teaming with Austin and doing some stuff with WCW and doing and like adding that crazy persona that he had during the end of his life in ECW before coming back to WWE. So it was a very sad night. Even though that was also the night where the first Hell in a Cell match took place, it was a very monumental day for wrestling in a sad and good ways. But the more I think about it, the amount of stuff that took place in 1997, like 1997 has to be like one of the most important years in wrestling history
Yeah,
because
definitely.
think about all the stuff that took place that year, whether it be in WWF, WCW, or ECW. Like ECW had its very first pay-per-view, barely legal. Um, WCW had the whole build-up between Hollywood Hogan and Sting, which would also involve Bret Hart, which we'll talk about after the Screwjob stuff. And also with WWF taking a big turn in the direction of its company because at the start of the year, it was still very stuck in the new generation era, very kind of PG-ish stuff. And then by the end of the year, we'd gone full-blown Attitude Era mode. So 1997 was that fade-in year of like new generation dying and the Attitude Era becoming born. So we also have to think about where Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels were at this time. So Bret in late 96 came back after losing to Shawn at WrestleMania 12 and had a feud with Austin, and him and Austin had one of the greatest matches in WrestleMania history at WrestleMania 13, which caused the big double turn, turning Bret heel. Of course, that was a very important moment in the character of Bret Hart and where he goes to in this story. And also with Shawn Michaels, who had also been a heel. He turned heel at SummerSlam, I think, when he was the special guest referee with Bret in the Bret Hart Undertaker match and cost Undertaker the WWF title match against Bret Hart. So that started a feud between them, which culminated at the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, which was the debut of Kane. By God, it's got to be Kane, who's still getting a push in 2017.
Winning the
Why, I
Universal
have no
title in
idea.
WWE 2K18.
Oh, man. Who, for some reason, can beat Finn Balor with like one choke slam. Like, okay. Was it with one choke slam? I can't even remember. Like,
I don't want to.
Why is Kane getting the push in 2017? If only that means Braun Strowman can destroy him, then I'm good. Like,
he will.
no, God, I fucking hope so. We need to make Braun look as strong as possible at this point.
Yeah.
But moving back to 1997, not 2017. So the match was all set up for Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels. Now, there was definitely a lot of tension between Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels on screen and definitely off screen. It started off as just like competitiveness between the two, then it got really personal. Like these two could not stand each other for the life of them. Bret hated Shawn, Shawn hated Bret. I think one of the things that really pissed Bret off was when Shawn mentioned Bret was having sunny days, mentioning that like Bret Hart and Sonny were having an affair, which was that ever true? I think it was.
I don't know. Apparently, like everyone's fucked Sonny. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, at this point, I know Shawn Michaels has definitely fucked Sonny, from what I've heard. So he just brought that up on television, even though I think Bret was married at the time. I don't know about that, but yeah, just like how much these two hated each other. It was the most personal rivalry in WWE history when I look back on it. And so, yeah, Bret was still champion. They were heading into Survivor Series, which took place in Montreal. And the whole thing was that Vince wanted Bret to drop the championship to Shawn because he felt like he was worried that Bret was going to bring the title to WCW and throw it in the trash because
like what Alundra Blaze did.
Yeah, because a year or so ago, Alundra Blaze was the WWF Women's champion, and she had been and she was like the face of the women's division at that time. However, she signed a contract with WCW, changed her name back to Medusa, and on Nitro, she took a trash can. She took the WCW Women's title and she put it in the trash can, pretty much killing the women's division for the longest time because there was no women's division in WWF until I think 1998.
No, I think it was either late 98 or early 99. So I remember looking
that
up
they
when I
brought
was
back
born,
the women's title.
There was no women's champion when I was born. So I've looked it up for some reason.
Yeah, it wouldn't be until the days of like Sable and China and Jacqueline and all that until the women's title will come back into the fold. But
and Harvey Whippleman, can't forget the legendary women's champion, Harvey Whippleman.
I remember that. What the fuck was that about?
Harvey
Whippleman as women's champion. What the fuck? That has Russo written all over it. Did he write that?
I wouldn't be surprised.
He would have to, surely. Because when did Harvey Whippleman win the belt? Because
like 2000 or something.
Oh nah, then he wouldn't have, because that's when Russo joined WCW in 2000, which WCW in 2000 is the greatest year in all of wrestling.
It's underrated, I reckon.
Underrated year in wrestling. I mean, bloody David Arquette winning the world title. I mean, how can you top that? I mean, seriously, what did WWF had going for it in 2000? Like Triple H, who?
Oh, who? I don't know. Fucking TLC matches. They're fucking fuck that shit.
Overrated. Like, where did it take their careers? Honestly, like, where are Dudley Boys now? Nowhere.
Dead.
Bubba's retired. Like, where's Edge and Christian? Retired. Where's the Hardy Boys?
On Raw for some reason.
Yeah, on Raw. Matt's doing nothing. Well,
so is Jeff.
Well, Jeff's injured.
So he's doing nothing then.
Yeah. Well, he's fucking not there anymore, that's for sure. So
they've been removed. Wrong way. It's removed. I can't. Yeah. Anthem.
It looks like you're trying to do like a really low dab. Like a really low tap.
TJP.
Oh God, fucking
Oh, I
hell!
fucking hate that cunt. I want to punch him in the head.
Not a TJP fan. Is he on your
No,
shit list under Bret Hart?
he's. Where's the list?
Oh, you've got your own list
I do. It's
of shit
blank
cunts.
for some reason. Oh well,
But I think
I've
you have
got
to
some.
put,
I can add some names to it later.
yeah, you got to put some on the shit list because I'm pretty sure Bret Hart would be on the top of yours.
Oh, definitely.
Speaking of Bret Hart,
Ugh.
when he found out that Mr. McMahon wanted him to drop the belt to Shawn, because the reason being Bret was gonna leave for WCW because Vince couldn't afford to pay him anymore. So what Bret wanted to do, his idea was he wanted to retain in Montreal and
Drop
drop
it
it
on
the
Raw the
next
next
night.
night.
Drop it on
Something
Raw the
like that.
next night. Yeah. But I didn't think Vince trusted him. I think he was still worried that he was going to bring it over to WCW and just set it on fire or some shit. I don't know. But
Set the title on fire. Jesus.
I don't know. Eric Bischoff's a crazy cunt. He hated Vince McMahon. You guys have to realize during this time, Raw and Nitro were like trying to kill each other, literally kill each other in the ratings.
It's like TNA
And
versus itself.
Jesus, how's that still a company
I
anymore?
have
Like,
no fucking
no,
idea.
I did you hear the story about what Impact
Mm.
Wrestling's doing now?
They're
They are
fucking
paying
paying fans
people
to attend the
to come to
shows.
their show. How fucking sad is that?
How are
Like,
they fucking paying people to do that? They can't even pay their own wrestlers.
I know. Like, oh my,
Oh,
I'm. I hate to say this, but just kill off this company. It's just, it's been this Titanic that's just Hogan and Bischoff were on the Titanic. They hit the iceberg when they realized, shit, we can't compete with WWE, and they've just been sinking and sinking and sinking and
being
sinking.
brought back up for some reason and then just
And
sinking again
yeah, it's like the Broken Hardys brought them back up. They
a little
left,
bit.
and then they just tanked. Like, just end TNA. Just
Yeah.
like how Vince McMahon wanted to end Bret Hart's
Yes.
run in WWF. If we get off traffic, if we get off
If we
traffic,
get
we're
off
driving here,
traffic,
guys. We're driving ourselves crazy here, guys. But yeah, Bret Hart was ready to drive off to WCW after this.
oh. Stop with the fucking car puns.
Oh man. But moving on, uh, moving on to the proper story. So, night of the match happens, and yeah, he's pretty fucking worried. He's like, oh yeah, he's still scared. Brett's gonna drop it, so he tells Sean, Hunter, Earl Hebner, Gerald Briscoe, and I think some other guys. Here, look, this is what we're going to do. Brett's not cooperating with us. He doesn't want to drop the belt to you, Sean. So we're like, you know what? Lock him in to a hold so that when Earl rings the bell, he can't kill you and he just looks at me or something like that. So that's the whole thing set up. We're just going to lock in the sharpshooter. You ring the bell. Sean just run out there with the title and leave. So that was their plan. Went as planned at Survivor Series at Montreal. So Michaels locks in the sharpshooter. Earl calls for the bell, and Brett is just in complete and utter shock. Looks at Vince, spits in his face. And this was the point where many people thought this was the start of the Mr. McMahon character of the evil boss doing whatever it takes to make sure his guys come out on top. And
Pretty
he
much
was
was.
just he was
After
destroying monitors and just swearing. He wrote WCW in the air, like he was fuming. And from what I was told, I watched a quick little doco today about the Montreal Screwjob, and that Vince wanted to go into Brett's locker room just to calm him down and wanted him to punch him in the face so he can just get his free shot in. So it was like, yeah, I screwed you out of the title. Yeah, so
he did get punched in the face anyway.
yeah, he knew it was coming. So he thought, and Vince even said that it was a relief that he actually got punched in the face by Brett, so that Brett got a bit of his aggression out on Vince and something like that. But yeah, Brett was gone from WWE for the longest time. He didn't want
not there anymore.
anything to do with that company. And so he went to WCW and didn't do that much better there, let's be honest. Like, he debuted at the Starrcade pay-per-view, I think as like the special guest referee or something like that.
Because he couldn't actually compete. Because no compete clauses.
Yeah. And so that was during Hollywood Hogan and Sting's match, which was, by the way, built up as this humongous match, which just like everything in WCW, fucking failed because the ref was meant to go for like a quick pin when Hogan pinned Sting. However, he pins him fucking normally with a normal 3 count, but Bret Hart's like, no, the referee screwed him over or whatever. So Sting wins anyway. So technically, Hogan got screwed out of the championship. Just that company was well on its way of going out of business at that point. Oh my god! But yeah. So Bret Hart goes to WCW. I think he becomes US champion. Joins the NWO. I think.
Who didn't join the NWO though?
Goldberg.
Actually, yeah, he's probably like the only guy that didn't join the NWO, I reckon.
Oh, DDP as well. He didn't join NWO.
Yoga to actually care.
He was doing yoga before it was cool, before he became a brand. But so speaking of Goldberg, the Bret Hart's career actually did end in WCW after Goldberg kicked him in the chin or kicked him somewhere, which caused him to never wrestle again, unfortunately for him.
He wrestled I think he wrestled matches after that, but it just made his condition worse.
It just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
He may as well have just quit. And then I think he had a stroke like a few months later. He had a stroke months later. I think he was like riding his bike one day and he just went and had a stroke. And like after that, and that's when he like retired from wrestling for a little bit. So
we got the greatest WrestleMania match ever between him and Vince at 26. Then he became US champ for some reason in 2010. Was Raw GM for like a month and wrestled against the Nexus for no real reason. And then he
showed up.
Then he got written off because like the Nexus broke his leg because they like put it against a car or some shit and then backed a car into his leg. What was it?
I think that was during the McMahon storyline.
Oh, it was something like that. And then that was when all
and then they did the contract signing. And then after Vince signed the contract, he turns around and the cast was just a fake.
Something like that, yeah.
And it was just a ploy for Vince to wrestle him. It was ridiculous. Oh man. But
shit.
Yeah. But moving back onto WWF's side, Vince McMahon had a sit-down interview with Jim Ross to talk about the incident, and he just said that Bret didn't do his job. There was a time-honored tradition, and Bret decided not to follow it, and he uttered the famous words of Bret screwed Bret, and having no sympathy whatsoever for what Bret did, which I'm pretty sure he still stands by that. I don't think he regrets screwing Bret out of the title deep down inside. But moving on from that, Shawn Michaels continued working as the WWF champion until WrestleMania 14, dropping it to Austin and leaving for 4 years, finding Jeebus and coming back in Survivors at SummerSlam 02 and having a second run, second chance, and having some of the best matches of his entire career. So the two had very different directions after the screw job kind of happened. However, in 2010, Brett did reconcile with the WWE and did come back, shaking hands with Shawn Michaels and kind of putting that chapter to a close. So, but even after the screw job, the WWE still loves to bring it up any chance they get in storylines.
Especially when they're in Montreal.
Montreal, or just anytime Natalia's in a match. Like I remember last year, they did the screw job finish involving Natalia.
And Brett was at fucking ringside.
Like he's trying to forget it, but nah, you can't you?
Fucking remember at Breaking Point 09, like when they were in Montreal that
Punk
year.
And Taker.
Yes. Oh, I fucking wanted to neck myself after that.
It was so shit because
10, 11-year-old me just wanted to die.
Because like Undertaker locked in the Hell's Gate, and then Teddy Long comes out. It's like, oh, sorry,
that's
here,
a bad
but
move, player. We're gonna restart the submission match as a tag team match.
But he says, I'm sorry, but the Hell Gates move has been banned for no reason whatsoever. Hence, Punk retains the World Heavyweight title. It was so stupid. And then a few weeks later, they bring it back. Like, what was the point of it? That was, oh my god, 2009. Like, SmackDown was pretty good in 2009, but fuck, that was dumb.
The one thing that fucked me. That was the one thing that fucking pissed me off. That and Jeff Hardy leaving.
That was one.
That was Jeff Hardy's own accord, but
yeah, and even like a few weeks afterwards, he was caught with like fucking drugs.
Yeah, this is not Jeff Hardy though. This is fucking the Montreal Screwjob.
True, but like, oh my god. But it did lead to one of the funnier moments in SmackDown with Teddy Long getting in the limo and Undertaker shows up as the driver. Buckle up, Teddy. Oh, man. But looking back at this 20 years later, I want to ask this question to you, Campbell. What is your thoughts on the whole situation? Who do you think was in the right? Who do you think was in the wrong? Was there anyone in the right even? Like, how do you view the situation?
I don't know. Like, because I fucking hate Bret Hart, I want to say that he's in the wrong, but no, I'm going to fucking try to be as objective as I can. I'm going to
keyword
try to fucking keep my composure or whatever.
Holds back his Bret Hart hate for just a little bit.
It's building up, man.
Oh, God.
It's going to fucking come out.
Mate, give us a rant. I don't give a shit. Give us a fucking rant on the Montreal Screwjob.
I don't really think anyone was in the right because like, there's no fucking right way to go about it. Like if Brett didn't want to fucking drop it to Shawn that night, then shouldn't really have forced him. Vince and Shawn shouldn't have been like huge dicks about it, but
that's what Brett Shawn was at the time. He was a huge dick.
But Brett wasn't fucking cooperating, not doing his job. So I don't know. There's no one really in the right.
Yeah, it was just a shitty situation.
Except for Earl Hebner, because like he didn't really want to do it.
He was just doing his job, honestly. Like even Brett even has like.
It was probably either for him. It was probably either do that or get his fucking ass fired. Which he did like 8 years later anyway, because he was fucking selling bootleg merchandise. Anyway.
Fucking hell, Earl. Fucking hell. Good old. My name is Earl. Jesus Christ.
What a show.
My name is Earl. Could you imagine if that was a fucking.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch My Name is Earl Hebner. Oh my god. But looking back now, it was all just a shitty situation. Although I think Vince had a very lack of trust in Bret Hart. I feel like he's not like Alundra Blaze. I reckon Bret would have dropped the belt in the trash can or something like that. I don't think Bret would be that kind of guy. to do something like that. Even if WCW did try to push him into doing something like that, I don't think that's in Brett's moral
Of course not.
compass.
He's fucking Canadian. All Canadians are nice.
Yeah, but
I've been there. I know that.
yeah, little Kentucky tour in August. So it's just it would be very out of his character to kind of drop it on another person's promotion. I feel like Brett would have done the right thing and just like gone through with it the following night. But you can't really blame Vince for being very cautious
Yeah.
after just all the shit that WCW had tried to put him through during the Monday Night Wars, whether it be like spoiling the results on the air,
Stealing Scott Hall and Kevin Nash and bringing in fake Diesel
everyone
and fucking
just
fake
stealing
Razor.
everyone from him, just stealing
Yeah.
Hogan, Macho Man, like all the stars that he had built up for so many years. WCW just takes them all away, just like that. And I don't think he could have risked another big blow to his company if he had done that. So I can see why Vince is coming from it. Then again, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do something like that and go to the lengths that he did.
Yeah.
And as for Sean, I think he was just doing his job, doing what Vince had told him. But I felt like he kind of got satisfaction out of that as well, just to kind of get back at Brett for some reason because they hated each other so much. And I feel like I know they're not. I know they're good now, but I feel like deep down inside they kind of still do hate each other in a
Yeah.
way. Probably
Always.
not as much as they did 20 years ago, but like just a little bit of resentment. Like not to the point where they want to kill each other, but just kind of like, mm,
I remember what you did, kind of
yeah.
thing.
But as shitty as that of a situation that was for Brett, that was such an important moment in wrestling because
Yeah.
that was one of the moments where it blurred the line between fiction and reality.
Yep. Breaking
And the
the
whole,
old kayfabe, which is pretty much
yeah,
dead now. But oh well, shit
yeah,
happens.
it's exactly shit happens. But on as well, there's a lot of people as well who think the screw job is a work thing. So I can't see
Yeah.
that
Nah.
because here's the thing about the whole screw job being a work because people say, oh, because there were cameras everywhere during the Wrestling with Shadows documentary that Brett did. But I would say this, if it was truly a work and Brett truly hated or if Brett truly if yeah, like I was saying before, I keep repeating myself, if this was all truly a work, Brett would have come back years ago.
Yeah, he would have
It wouldn't
been.
have taken him till since 2010 to come back. He would have come back ages ago because no one can follow a storyline that well. I
No,
think like
unless Undertaker was fucking dedicated as hell to being the Undertaker.
to his
So,
character.
but
I mean,
that's a different
Undertaker
thing.
is the
But
yeah, but like Undertaker, I think he would have been all right because like he's the king of kayfabe, in my opinion. He's kept that character alive until his retirement. Like it's
alive
ridiculous,
or
man.
dead?
Who knows?
Hey,
Get it? Because he's the dead man.
oh,
I always, it's funny 'cause I always use the Undertaker as my defense. You know how people always say to you, "Oh, you know wrestling's fake, right?" Like I can't believe you think it's real. It's like there is a guy who thinks he's fucking dead. Of course, I know it's fake. Like it's like, oh, I thought it was real as a kid. It's like okay, you fought someone who shot lightning out of his hands and collapses rings just by the power of his presence was real. Like, you're a fucking dumb kid, man. But I guess I was stupid because I thought it was real, but
Yeah.
yeah, but we've become smarter to a degree
Yeah,
about the
to a
wrestling
degree.
industry.
It's gonna say,
Yeah, yeah. We're not going that far. We're not
don't give
geniuses or
yourself too
anything.
much credit.
Nah, nah. But it's always been a fascinating thing though,
Yeah.
the whole Montreal Screwjob thing. But I want to pose this question onto you. Do you think we're going to get a Montreal Screwjob finish at this year's Survivor Series?
Fucking God, I hope not. Oh, if we
Because
fucking do,
if we get one during the Brock Lesnar AJ Styles match, tables will be
it's
flipped.
gonna fucking happen. I'm gonna fucking call it right now. Like Lesnar's gonna fucking have AJ in the Kimura, and then they'll do a screw job finish. Fucking watch it.
But for what reason? To keep both champions strong?
I don't fucking know.
Like,
To have a laugh at Bret Hart, I don't.
because we haven't had that before. Vince just loves to laugh at Bret Hart. Like, fucking hell. You've given this guy enough shit as it is. You basically broke the man's heart that night 20 years ago. Like, still pushing the stake in it.
Mm,
Bret no heart at this point because you fucking broke it.
he's just Bret.
Just Bret. Bret the Hitman. At this point, no heart. But like so 20 years from that right now in 2017, where have both men gone? Sean has now become a trainer at the at the performance center, and Brett has become kind of a bitter old man
Mm,
in a way, and has become Campbell's least favorite wrestler. While we're on the topic of Bret Hart, I want you to let the entire world know right now why you hate Bret Hart. What
oh,
is it
I
that's
just can't.
so
I can't put it into
hatred?
words. I just don't know what it is. He's just it's like that fucking annoying kid in class that you try to be nice to, but you just fucking can't. Oh,
Known plenty of those kids in high school.
I probably was that kid, but fucking,
Like,
I don't know. I don't know what it is. This is something about him that I fucking can't stand. I can't put my finger on it.
just so, but yeah. So thank you for telling us. Well, you didn't really tell us much
Well,
because you
I tried to tell
put,
you, but
put it into words. Just strong hatred for Bret Hart. But yeah, I think we might as well just actually before we wrap this up, maybe we can talk about a few current topics in WWE while we're at it. So,
alright,
did you hear the news about Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega?
I
Uh,
did.
yeah,
I still don't know if it's real, but I
yeah,
guess
it looks like
if
it's. Well, actually, we did know about it because Billy told us in the chat.
oh
Chris Jericho
yeah,
versus Kenny Omega too. I didn't believe him at first. I thought it was a load of shit. And
I'm
he's
still
because it's
not
like
sure about it because Jericho is like a
because
fucking master troll, as we
yeah
all know.
because if you guys because we know Billy quite well and he loves to shit stir. Especially me. He loves to shit stir me. So if you hear Jericho versus Omega, oh, it's actually happening. It's like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yes.
righto, cunt.
And then saw the photo. I'm like, oh, Photoshop. Yeah. And Billy's like, Jack, it's fucking real. I turn on to Facebook. What do I see? I see Chris Jericho with the picture at Wrestle Kingdom 12. I'm like, oh, it's real. It's real. It's real. Like, because I've been really into New Japan lately. Like, it's the best wrestling promotion in the world right now. Like, if you guys haven't started watching New Japan, right now is the perfect time to watch it because Wrestle Kingdom
Probably should.
12.
I just don't have time to watch it.
No, at least watch Wrestle Kingdom 12 on January 4th
I'm
because that
going
show's
to.
going to be fucking fire.
You're
Like,
gonna have to make sure that I do, because I'm
yeah,
probably gonna forget.
mate, Okada versus Naito. That just sells the show right there because those two have been like Naito's been one of my favorite characters in wrestling right now. and just like Kenny Omega is the shit. And also, I just want to buy a Bullet Club shirt, or even better, a Bullshit Club shirt.
Yeah, just put it on WWE 2K. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah, to a point.
Yeah, just don't be about the inappropriate content.
Yeah.
So I fucking got a warning for that for putting the Bullshit Club logo on.
Why?
On
Because it just has the word shit on it.
Oh, there's also like 2 middle fingers in the logo,
Ah.
so that might have something to do with it. But anyway,
I know Austin wouldn't be
fuck
happy
2K.
about that. Going back to Here Comes the Pain.
Yep.
Yeah, who isn't at this point? But also some other topics on SmackDown. AJ
Oh, I was gonna
Styles.
say.
Oh no!
I was
Mention John Cena,
Yeah,
final team member for
I don't
SmackDown.
get it. I don't get it.
Free agent John Cena on Team SmackDown.
It's just so annoying. Like, what is the this fucking free agent thing is so stupid because it pretty much kills the whole point of the brand extension if you're gonna have a guy on both shows like Corey Graves and
Here's the thing I don't get.
Renee Young and
if John Cena is a free agent, apparently he can go to Raw, SmackDown. Why the fuck is he on Team SmackDown?
Yeah, like who says like 10 minutes before the match he's gonna go up to Shane and be like, oh, by the way, I'm on Team Raw, see ya.
Yeah, he just like
do. That's what he does. That's how he ends every sentence ever.
I feel like WWE were just running out of ideas at this. It's like, who could we put as our 5th member? You know, we could give it to like a younger guy, like a Ty Dillinger, or like maybe a Rusev or something. Nah, let's give it to Mr. Rapidu. You know, like
Mr. Kick Out at 2.
Rapidu Kick Out at 2.
Couldn't even put the fucking King of the Mysterio division on the team. I'm upset.
Yeah, exactly. What, have you on Team SmackDown?
Yeah, I'd fucking do it.
Well, you've been repping SmackDown for the last year or so. I mean, you've obviously been a fan of it. Speaking of SmackDown.
OG SmackDown fan.
Yeah, speaking of laying the SmackDown host himself.
Yeah.
Are the videos still up on your channel?
Yeah, all 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
I'm sure that's literally the only. I'm pretty sure I only made 3 things of laying the SmackDown, and then I was like, nah, I can't be fucked doing it anymore.
Because that was right before SmackDown. That was right before SmackDown actually became good. I think.
Yeah, it was like right before they went. Oh, I think it was before they went live, but it was before it was actually watchable. It was like just a glorified Raw rerun.
Yeah. But speaking of SmackDown, the new WWE champion, AJ Styles, just
phenomenal.
Thank you, AJ, for ending the reign of Jinder Mahal. I gave him a chance.
Have my children, AJ.
I gave Jinder a chance. He could have been good.
We didn't hinder Jinder.
But he was shit. He was quite possibly the worst WWE champion of all time.
Aside from Bret Hart.
Oh, God. Here we go. The hatred is boiling up again. I guarantee you watch WrestleMania 9 and think it's the greatest ending ever because Yokozuna won the belt.
Yeah, I pissed my pants because I saw that Bret Hart lost.
To Yokozuna.
Yes.
Just have a big Yokozuna poster on your wall. My hero.
Oh, I can't because it's
headed at night.
When I move, there will be.
Just have the posters of like every single person that has beaten Bret for every title he's ever won. Like, just call them your heroes, like Shawn Michaels, Yokozuna, everyone at this point.
Goldberg probably beat him
at
maybe.
Some point. But yeah, I'm just so happy just the reign of Jinder Mahal's ended because
I hope to God that they don't fucking put it back on him like just
because he was advertised as a 2-time champion at the Indian show. But I swear to God, if Jinder wins back that title after Survivor Series or even before Survivor Series, I will flip a table, man. I'll flip everything in this freaking room. Like, it's just the WWE. You need to realize you tried the experiment and it
didn't
fucking
work.
failed. I know Jinder's saying, "Oh, I'm not an experiment. They have plans." I hope not.
You are an experiment. Just fucking accept it, buddy.
The only reason you are WWE champion, Jinder, is to pander to the Indian market because WWE wants to get into the Indian market for some fucking reason.
Because there's a bunch of people there.
Bunch of people there, and they can make a lot of money because that's all they fucking care
Vince,
about.
if you want to fucking expand to the Australian market, just put the WWE Championship on Buddy Murphy. Call up
Or
TM.
you know what? Here's a better idea. Maybe actually use.
Them.
Yeah, maybe to NXT actually use Buddy Murphy.
Who else is Australian? Oh, Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Just give them the women's titles and
yeah, and you know we have Emma. Oh.
Put the United States Championship on Emma because let's face it, she'd be a better US champ than Baron Corbin.
Well, I was gonna say Emma, but then I realized, wait.
Emelina.
Ah, Emelina. I'm still waiting for her debut, man. I'm still waiting for a proper debut. It's been like a year. Like they even stopped the vignettes and shit. Like, come on.
Ross. Sorry. Fuck, can't say that anymore.
Just Ross, yeah.
Yeah, he stopped doing that bloody counter thing. Probably got counting, I don't know.
No, man, but I think those have been the big things in wrestling over the last week or so. So I'm guessing future plans for my channel is just to wrap up this video. More Here Comes the Pain videos. I've got a big one coming up soon, so right before Judgment Day. Of course, the storyline between Brock Lesnar and Steven Richards.
Oh, I can't believe I guessed that. I was actually just having a laugh when I said, "Oh, is it Steven Richards?"
I was serious.
You said yes. I was like, "Bullshit."
Yeah, Steven Richards. So yeah, if you want to see how that continues, because a lot of crazy shit happens in the next episode of Season Mode, so stay tuned for that. Also, I'm hoping we can get a Bullshit Club episode out soon.
Me too. I miss doing those.
This weekend, or hopefully. Now, don't quote us on that, but this weekend I want to get a Bullshit Club episode out because I miss doing them, man. It's been too fucking long.
Just need Billy to fix his damn PC. Get an internet cable, man, please.
Yeah, exactly. I'll review. Yeah. Also, predictions and review for Survivor Series when that comes out.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I guess, are you guys down for the end of year awards again for 2017?
I'm cool with that.
Because that was like that video was actually one of the funnest videos I've ever made. I had so much fun making that because I need to think. I've already got a new category for that. The top 5.
Of the year.
Oh no, Bullshit Club moments. Instead of, along with the top 5 worst shit of the year, it will be the top 5 Bullshit Club moments, and I need to figure out what's number 1. Like, I think we just have to wait. Maybe
it's too many.
Yeah, it might not even be until
number 1 has got to be the meetup, surely.
Yeah, or it might even happen in the next couple of episodes. Wait and see. Maybe. But yeah. What about you, Campbell? What's going on with your channel?
Elgato to work, I want to get some WWE 2K18 going or something like that. I might even bring back SVR07. Who knows? I just need to get Elgato cooperating, so I don't have to tombstone it. So I don't have to fucking defend the Mysterio division title against it. I suppose I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. But
so just. The plan is to get the Elgato going. That's all I've got at the
step
moment.
Number 1. And
it's just day by day for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching this this video. I hope you have enjoyed us talking about the Montreal Screwjob and also some other
sidetracked.
As always. But I hope you have enjoyed it. So if you did, give it a big fat like, comment, down below your opinions on the whole Montreal Screwjob. Who was in the wrong in the situation, or if you were even around in '97, and
Yes.
talk about your experience of it. If you even watched the show live or was there, tell us down below. It'd be very interesting to read. And if you want to see more from me, hit that subscribe button. You'll be glad you did. My Twitter and Instagram is at JackmanLaw31, and you can check out Campbell at TheFive8th on Twitter if you want to give him a cheeky little follow there. And we'll see you guys soon. And we are out in 3, 2, 1.